Hello, and welcome to the latest edition of the Kombat Cast.
What number is it, like 8?
Something like that. We've done quite a few of them. I am Tyler Lansdowne, Community Specialist here at NetherRealms Studios.
And I am Derek, one of the designers here at NetherRealm.
We are very excited about today's stream. Again, like the last stream, we all seem to really enjoy that one.
Yeah.
So we have a pretty packed stream for you today with a lot of information and a lot of really cool stuff that I think you guys are going to enjoy.
Yes.
So let's introduce one more person who's very important to the process of making a stream. That's Jen at the control tower. Jen?
Hello, everyone.
Couldn't happen without her.
You always woot over her saying hi.
Oh, let's do it again.
Okay.
It's pretty rude.
You know, really important. We got somebody helping out with the stream. Jen at the command tower.
Hello.
Woo!
Okay,
All right, it's timing. It's all about timing. Sorry.
So we are very excited. The whole studio is kind of buzzing. The game is coming out so soon, and we're so ready for you guys to see it. So we'd like to come here and give you a chance to see some stuff that you'll be playing in how long, Derek?
18 days.
18 days. We're very excited. We have a ton of new information for you today. We're going to give you some character breakdowns. We thought about giving you one character breakdown.
But that wasn't enough. No.
And then we thought about giving you 2.
Still not enough.
And then we thought about giving you 7.
Little too many.
Far too many.
Little too many.
So we're going to go with 3 today. We
Yes.
have 3 character breakdowns for you.
Yep.
We have
Some fatalities.
maybe a new fatality you'll see. We're going to maybe discuss some faction stuff today.
Yes. Some special guests.
We have 4 guests today.
We are packed.
So very excited about it. Again, like we always ask you to, we love you watching our streams. We love you coming out here every time to find out what's new in the MKX world. So if you could just take a second real quick and go down and hit the follow button on Twitch. So every time we stream, you'll be notified. And like I've said before, after launch, we will be streaming at random times.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be definitely playing with the community, so please come and beat up Tyler, as we all do, and enjoy hanging out with us.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely, you know, when the DLC comes, because we've already announced all of that, of course. We have
Yes.
Jason, Trimmer, Tanya, Predator.
There it is.
So once those come out, we'll always do variations of those. But at the same time, anytime imaginable, we could come on, stream, and play against you guys.
Bam! Here
Just
we
like
are.
that.
Yep.
So that's very exciting. So I hope you clicked follow. We want to kind of get started here really shortly with what we have to show you. We're excited. Obviously, you guys kind of have an idea where we're going to go with this, but we're going to make you wait for just a little bit. So please get mad at me in the stream chat. I'm sure you are, and that's fine. We do have something cool to show you right now. As you know, there's a thing called WB Play. And if you sign up for that, you're able to kind of follow your stats more easily, link different games to different games, things like that.
Yes.
Here's the deal. If you've already signed up for WB Play, which I'm sure a lot of you have through Injustice.
Yes.
We will have a skin ready for you day 1, which is a new Raiden skin, which we'll show you in 1 second. Also, if you haven't signed up, now's a perfect chance to go look, look up WB Play, sign up for it, get ready for it, because day 1, you're going to get this costume.
That's right. What you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful future Raiden skin that will be available only to people using the WB Play. So please, set up your account so you can get this great skin day 1.
And before we get started and show you anything big, we have a special guest and maybe another special guest.
Dan Forden!
Yes, sir. We got a big one here today. That's going to be gift.
Is that good?
You want to do it again?
Yep.
You can do it
So
again.
we can edit it and make it better for...
Oh, no, we're live. Yeah, we're live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I should have mentioned that to you earlier.
That happened.
We have 2 great guests today. Well, 4 great guests, but this is the first 2.
2 are...
The greater guests.
I don't want to grade anybody.
I hope they're not watching. But,
Yeah, probably not.
Rich Carl, Dan Forden, go ahead and introduce yourself. You know I already did.
Yeah, my name is Rich Carl, and I'm the director of audio here at NetherRealms Studio.
Awesome.
And I'm Dan Forden. I'm also an audio director here at NetherRealm, working on Mortal Kombat.
And for the 4 people who don't know, what Dan did in the camera was, of course,
Toasty.
the Toasty. So I know it's been a part of your life for a long time. So we're, of course, excited to have you both here to discuss sound. Because I get a whole bunch of tweets, and I'm sure you do too, about how awesome the game sounds. And we thought, yeah, it does.
Let's
bring
break
the
it down.
sound guys in to talk about it. Right. So we're just going to kind of go through a few things and discuss. We got a couple cool videos to show. Maybe a new fatality that you guys can kind of explain sound works. But we'll get to that in a second. First question, just to start. We always talk about how the sound is one of those things where you it's so good you almost forget it's there because it makes the characters real. It makes them feel like real people. It makes the environments feel real and such like that. What is there anything that's integral to the sound that you guys have put in this game that the fans may not notice but makes the game what it is?
I think it has a lot to do with a lot of the little sounds, and there are things that we put in there that if they weren't there, you would notice it and it wouldn't feel as real, or it would be harder to connect with. So, I mean, just little things like footsteps, cloth rustle, the whooshes, the vocalizations, they all kind of add up to give you the full picture, the more human picture of what's actually going on in with the interactions in the game.
Excellent.
One thing also is the impact sounds too. The impacts of heavier hits versus lighter hits and things like that. I mean, it really does sell the power of each one of the characters as well.
Yeah, we spent some time trying to figure out, okay, is this impact a bigger one or a small one, or actually there's no small. There's only medium, large, and huge, right?
Right.
So, yeah, and just to figure out based on the animation and the action that's going on, what's the most appropriate thing to try to give a sense of proportionality.
Right. Sure. Cool. Is there something that, like, because, every time, like, starting with every game you work with, I'm sure there's one thing that you're like, I'm so glad we got that into this game. I'm so glad that this is happening. Is there something you guys, each one of you can take this separately if you'd like, you're just kind of proud of? Just like, wow, I'm glad we were able to do that.
So many things to be proud of. But one feature that comes to mind for this game in particular that we haven't done before is we've added an additional level of dynamic range control for the player. We call it the audio experience.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that sounds
so
good.
The player, whether you're playing on a television set or you've got your TV hooked up to a stereo system,
on your watch,
or you've got your TV hooked up to a home theater system, which is how the sound department recommends you play Kombat for the best experience. But each one of those, you can quickly customize it and get your sound to sound as good as it possibly can on whatever speaker system you have. So I'm excited for the players too.
Cool. Just more like this game about Mortal Kombat is kind of all about choice for the character, starting with variations all the way into sound, so they can choose how they want Mortal Kombat to play from start to finish.
Right.
Yes. Anything you're proud of?
One thing we've done this before, but kind of took it a little step further is wherever possible, where there's a projectile or some sort of weapon, or even the characters, when they move across the screen, we try to make sure that the sounds actually move with them. So it gives you a more interactive stereo spectrum. And certain characters like Takeda and Shinnok, some of their weapons, I was able to attach the sound to the weapon so that it's flying across the screen and through the stereo spectrum as you're playing it, which is really cool.
And Takeda, like you said, has those whips that pretty much travel full screen, so you'll actually hear them start and finish to the end, which is really neat. And it's to just kind of segue into something different. You guys are known for you help make the music. You write the music for Mortal Kombat, and I think that's always been kind of an iconic part of Mortal Kombat, just the feel of the music. Can you just kind of talk a little bit about what it takes to create music for a game like Mortal Kombat?
Who plays the cowbell?
Oh, yeah.
That would be, I don't know, the cowbell guy.
Not too much cowbell.
He got fired.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we're excited for with this game is we have different music for each round. So for every level, instead of just having level music, we have round music. So every level has 3 rounds, and beyond that, there are little bits and pieces of music that make it smoother to go into an X-ray and come out of an X-ray, smoother to end a particular round. So there are all these, like, for every level, there are probably 13 or 14 little tiny segments of music that we cut to, like, interactively to provide like a most.
Yeah, and I've noticed when Tyler and I'll play, if it does go into the 3 rounds of a fight, like the music which is rare, gets even more intense during that 3rd round, which is awesome for the player.
Yeah.
And you also we talked about this earlier too when we were kind of prepping, is that you'll look at a stage and create a custom soundtrack for the stage itself.
Yeah, we try to get a sense of the environment where people are going to be fighting, and one thing I thought would be kind of neat was in the Emperor's courtyard to try a bamboo flute as an instrument in that first one, you know, with the whole sort of Aztec, Mayan, or Aztec,
Aztec,
as it were,
Aztec.
religion, just something to sort of conjure up that mood. I figured that might be a nice thing.
Oh, it's really well captured, definitely.
Yeah, I would say that that's the first time that bamboo flutes have been mentioned on any sort of Mortal Kombat cast. So thank you for that.
We do what we can.
That's really good. And you know, I think one of the big things we kind of want to get to, which is really important, is just our custom, I guess you'd call it gore.
Yeah, the sound effects are really like, you know, probably the most important part because they follow the action. They're really tightly created, crafted to the VFX, to the animations, and you know Dan places them in. So we have two guys on our team, Eric Wiedemeyer and Steven Schappler, who have created labored over these guys to make the traits sound different, to make each character sound different, and then Dan like custom puts them in the game for every movement and you know, thinks about this frame or that frame or this frame to really should feel super tight.
And the great thing is because Eric actually and Steven had me come in to the sound booth when they were making the sounds, and it's just a produce aisle in the back with like bone saws and hammers.
There's a lot of that.
They just go to town on fruit and just destroy it.
Yeah.
So vegetables and fruits were harmed in the making of this game.
They were. And I actually at the end of the full segment we do have a fun video with Eric working with some goo. And it kind of shows you how they record different sort of Foley to make the sounds work. We're not going to show that quite yet. We do want to show you something, because one of the big things about sound is making the X-rays feel super impactful.
Yeah.
So we would like to show, real quick, fatalities, X-rays as well. But we're going to show two fatalities that kind of show off sort of how the sound has all been integrated into how they work.
Some of that
Show the magic.
Finish him! Ermac wins. Fatality. Finish him! Sub-Zero wins. Fatality.
Okay.
All right, so we've already seen the Ermac one. We had to show that one again because it is awesome, pulling out every piece of his insides from his mouth. And then we showed a new Sub-Zero, the bed of spikes, which I lovingly call the skateboard.
The skateboard.
Because he jumps on.
Yeah, no, it's clever. I get it.
So if just real briefly, kind of explain sort of what goes into the little tiny granule pieces of that.
Yeah, well, again, it's a lot of fruit and vegetables, you know, because they won't let us rip real hearts out of people. Sure. Which is, you know.
But I'm sure there's plenty of dead bodies we could use.
You know, they frown upon that.
So we've gone to fruit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and you know the sound designers, you know, layer upon layer upon layer, they'll take the squash from this and the watermelon, pull out from that, and the slice from this papaya, and there's a lot of that, and then pitch shifting and reversing, and you know the inverted walrus scream is.
What's the best sounding fruit?
Best sounding fruit for us. One of the things we did was we took a watermelon, and we cut a hole in the top of it. And then we would stick our hands in it and pull it out. That was a good one.
That's awesome.
Do you have any?
Green peppers and celery were good. I remember.
Yeah?
For some crunchy stuff.
Bones.
Right, exactly.
Like Melina's bites. So those sound like definitely some sort of crunchy. What would you use for those, you think?
Sticks, maybe?
Ooh. Sometimes we record at really high frequency nuts being cracked. And then we pitch shift those way down to get the big, thick bone cracks. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's a classic sound designer trick.
Awesome. Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Well, to actually explain some more of that, we're going to show you a video here in a second. But is there anything else we'd like to talk about or add before we show that video?
I guess, you're going to show something about slime?
I want to show Eric recording a bunch of slime. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that slime figured prominently in the Ermac fatalities.
Okay, good. The whole.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't just use my
How
voice
did that
there?
go? That's
No,
good.
pretty good.
That's good.
Next time.
Next time.
Yeah,
You're in.
Save some
You're in.
fruit.
Thank
Save
you.
some
Honorary
fruit.
sound department.
Thank you guys. Thank you. So Jim, we're going to show that video right now. Thank you guys both for coming out.
You're welcome.
Awesome to have you. We also will show your. We'll show their Twitters real quick. We're showing that right now, so you can follow both these guys. I've followed Dan a little bit, and it looks like he just says toasty back to people. So that's good stuff.
Every time someone sends me a tweet, I will write toasty back.
I'd be careful in saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'd be careful in saying every time.
I'll cross my fingers.
Yeah, so, thank you guys for coming so much. That was a great time. Jim,
Awesome.
we'll play that video.
That was perfect.
Oh.
So that was just kind of how gore is built. A little funny video there with some flatulent sounds.
That was a good time. Did that work?
Moving on. So
Okay.
we have here, you've seen them both in different streams. Today their power combines. That's
Yes.
the word. Combines. John Edwards. Paulo.
How's it going?
So guys,
I like to say I like your hat and your shirt.
Yeah, you
Looking
like
good,
that?
guys.
Yeah.
Looking good.
I've been working out too.
I'm wearing a sweater and a newsboy cap.
Is that
Yeah.
a Mortal Kombat hat?
This is Mortal Kombat Newsboy hat. So we brought these guys here because we're going to show you a good deal of variation stuff today with characters, and they're the ones to talk to. So,
Yep.
but I know you guys are dying to see what we are kind of been teasing quite a bit. So we're going to show you that right now.
Ready to eat lead?
Trying to cut down.
Well, here comes a double helping.
Round one, fight.
Tough luck, kid. Gun is the best defense.
Finish him. Erron Black wins. Fatality.
So there he is.
Booyah.
I know you guys have been kind of seeing our tweets and speculating on the fact that Erron Black is a playable character in Mortal Kombat X. You've seen him in the comic, now you've seen him in real life. I am very excited to see this character.
Yeah, you've been kind of giddy around the studio, like, oh, it's Aaron Black Week!
I
yay!"
know, Black Friday. No, he's definitely one of my favorite new characters.
Yeah,
So
mine too for sure.
absolutely. So we're happy to show them to you now. We're actually going to do some gameplay.
Yep.
And John is going to walk through his variations.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
Let's do this. We're starting with this one.
Yeah, start with Marksman.
Marksman, sound good.
Yeah, so I guess probably go over his standard set.
We'll go
of
standard set
specials and
first.
attacks.
We will wait, of course, for the
Intros.
dialogue. I don't know if you knew this. People get mad.
They do.
Yeah.
I think they've heard them all by now.
I don't think they've heard
I don't
him.
know if they've heard
Well,
everybody.
this is a new character, Paulo. I don't think they've heard him.
So we should be quiet during this?
If you want.
Okay.
Or we could sing a song.
Okay.
Vermin.
Something wrong, Emperor?
I renegotiate our agreement. Round one, fight.
All right, there's the intro.
Cool. So yeah, so Erron Black. Obviously, he's kind of patterned after like a classic, you know, kind of Wild West, you know, martial, gunslinger, bounty hunter. His primary weapon set are the 2 revolvers he has on his waist, so he utilizes those a lot in his fight style. So he has a lot of strings that uses them to pistol whip people, or one of my favorite ones right there, where like he kicks the hammer and fires a shot. And something kind of unique about him is a lot of his fight style attacks that utilize the revolvers actually have much more range than a normal kick or a punch would have. So I think maybe let's go into some of his specials in the standard special set. Sure. So besides the revolvers, one of the things that he has access to is, you know, he's been kind of wandering the outworld, you know, for all these years. He's, you know, killed some, you know, crazy monsters and taken some of their magic. So one of the things he has is a like a sand-filled, like glass globe grenade that he can roll across the floor. Kind of a slow-moving, low projectile. Those are always pretty good. Anything that's, you know, projectile full screen low.
Right.
He can actually enhance that one to control its speed, and it'll also fire off a shot and break it, and that will lead to pop-ups. So that can be used as combo extenders or good openers. You can roll it behind the guy, roll it in front of him, and try to set him up. You know, roll it when the guy's trying to get up, things like that.
Right.
In addition, he can break the globes over his head for like a good anti-air. It's kind of a fast, you know, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it's really good for stop and jump ins.
Right.
You can also use it to start combos like the team combos.
Keep jumping over. Yeah. More meter. There we go.
So he also has a pretty powerful load special with a slide. Has a pretty good range on it. Does decent damage. And then that one also he can enhance, and he will rifle off a couple of shots with his revolvers. And that's great for combo enders and also for, you know, creating some close-up situations. In addition to that, let's see what else he has. He has like a medium-range tackle. It's pretty good, like a command grab tackle. You know, rifles off some shots to the face, and it also can be meter burned, and it will do a little bit more damage and separate the characters quite a bit more. That's an example of his throw. Again, using the revolvers in a lot of different situations.
Happiness.
Oh, I'm not getting it today.
Well, it's all right.
Stream jitters.
They always have
Tyler again.
I'm not quitting till we get this.
You can do it. There you go.
There we go.
So you use that to in combos, create some distance, you know, push people into corners, away from corners, things like that. Right. And then probably my favorite special that he has these caltrops. Which, if you know, everyone knows what a caltrop is, it's kind of like a spiked nail. He throws a handful of them out on the ground, and he can do that at different ranges, you know, close, medium, or far. And when you're standing in them, it does some damage over time. But the cool thing about it is it will also force your opponent to stop running. So if they're running at you, it actually stops their run. So you can kind of set it up as a little trap to keep the player from being too offensive. Right. These are also good to throw down when you've knocked someone down or when you get someone trapped in a corner. You can force them to try to jump out, and you can create some combo opportunities off of that. And I believe that's his his common set. So in Marksman, he has this rifle, like a long rifle, on his back. And he gains access to a few new special moves with it. So maybe do like his walk back. So pretty unique special where he actually walks and creates range at the same time. He's firing off 3 very quick projectiles. It's kind of an office favorite because it creates distance and you know, promotes kind of like a defensive kind of a style, but also offensive at the same time. And you can enhance that version, and he'll actually switch up the shots and do like a low, medium, and high. Leads to good combo opportunities if you can get in fast enough, you know, to close that gap that you created from the walk back. So it's actually really powerful in the corner because you won't be spread so far away that you'll be able to get some combos in.
Right.
Additionally, he has like a sniper shot where you can like kind of charge up a blast on the ground. So you can hold that, and you can hold that. You can hold that and dash cancel out of it. And one of the things that Paul likes to do with this is you can actually 2-in-1 into it and then dash cancel it. Like in the middle of strings and stuff to create like some confusing, you know, confusing reset opportunities. And then he also has a pop-up uppercut with the rifle. So this is good again for, you know, combo enders, things like that. You can sneak in some general hits after that one, but if you enhance it, then he actually fires a shot afterwards. On that one, you can get in a lot of, you know, these combos. Yeah, and I think you've got all your meter, so maybe a good time to show off maybe his X-ray. Oh, no, you don't.
I can fake it.
Oh, there it is. How did you do that?
The tricks. That is a magic bullet right there.
He comes prepared to matches. And he writes the opponent's names in the bullet.
He probably uses a Sharpie beforehand, just in case.
Yeah, whoever came up with that is a genius. Who was that, Derek?
I
think it was you, wasn't it?
Don't give me too much.
It was.
It was.
It was. So that's cool. So the other kind of unique thing about his X-rays, it leaves the opponent standing at the end, so it can be used for all kind of crazy mix-up opportunities.
Right.
And that's pretty much marksman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So maybe go to another one.
Sounds good.
Keep the Erron Black train rolling.
Choo choo with Erron Black. Let's do you want Outlaw? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, let's do Outlaw.
What? 2?
2 Erron Blacks.
2 Erron Black on Erron Black. Mind blown.
Are we prepared for this?
I don't know. Which one did you do?
I did Outlaw, so you should do Gunslinger.
Okay, absolutely.
We probably should be quiet for the intro.
We haven't gotten there yet, but
all right. I'm just prepping.
Hey, yeah,
I'm just prepping.
Okay, all right. We prepped for a long time.
Yeah,
though.
we did.
Yeah,
that was
almost
bad.
too much.
Mind games don't work on me. There's an obvious insult there. You'd best shut up and draw.
Round 1. Fight.
So cool. All right, let's go through, I guess, Outlaw. So Outlaw has probably my favorite weapon in the game. He has a broken off Tarkatan Warrior's arm. And it still has a sword blade attached to it, so I think it's pretty unique conceptual weapon.